in Hubei Province, and the county mayor, Mr. Han Xu, Mr. Tian Hongguang, the county mayor of Yinxu, and Mr. Chen Xinwang, the county mayor of Suizhou, Mr. Li Yang, deputy director of the CDC Hubei. First, we'd like to give the floor to Mr. Li Yang to give us updates about the spread of the COVID-19 in Hubei Province. By the 2nd of April 2020, we have updated the numbers of the COVID-19 in Hubei Province, among which the total confirmed cases is reaching 67,000. 70% of them are from Wuhan. By the 2nd of April 2020, the newly added confirmed cases is reported to be 0, and there is no imported cases across the province. For the newly added cases, there has been no report of them in 10 days. And outside of Wuhan, there has been 20 days reporting 0 case. In the 2nd of February, for that day, we have cured over 800 cases. By the 2nd of April, the total death toll is reaching 3,264, and the newly death at the 2nd of April claimed 4 cases. All of them is coming from Wuhan. Up to today, we have discharged 63,000 cases from the hospital. All of it is coming from the city of Wuhan. By the 2nd of April, the newly added asymptomatic cases in Hubei Province is 61 cases, with 30 of them discharged from the medical quarantine and isolation, and there are still 700 of them under medical quarantine and observations. Then we'd like to give the floor to Mr. Zhang Guanhua to give us an introduction of the agricultural developments across the province. Dear friends from media, good afternoon. I'd like to give you updates about the agricultural product across the province. For one part, the agri-product general information in Hubei. Hubei is an important production area for agri-product. For the recent several years, the provincial government and the CPC committee in Hubei has actively carried out the requirement required by the CPC Central Committee, and we have prioritized the food safety. We have put forward several different incentive packages to the vegetable producing industry and grain producing industry. We have the largest freshwater product for the grains, vegetables. Among other different agro products, we are the top 5 across the country. For other different products, including the eggs and poultry-related products, we have been kept an increasing momentum in the past several years. For the parks, oils, teas, oranges, TCM herbs, and kiwi fruits, all of this has reported and registered an industry which is over 1 million RMB. Hubei's agricultural industry is one of our pillar industry. The second part I want to brief you is about the updates of the sales numbers and figures of the agri-product influenced by COVID-19. All of the cities and the counties in Hubei has encountered all the supplying issues, with vegetables laying in the fields, the chickens and eggs resting in the farms. Under the leadership of the CPC Central Committee, the provincial governments together with the special group in the prevention and control of the COVID-19. And we have also borrowed the effort from other different provinces. The media is also calling out a nationwide effort to help to buy the agro product in Hubei, which eases the pressure of the agro industry in Hubei. By the end of the 15th of March, we have sold over 10 tons of the vegetables, and there are still 90,000 tons of the eggs and poultry-related products, which is ordered from across the country. Here, we want to show our heartfelt gratifications from all the friends from the media. And as the spring is shifting into summer, we find that the agricultural product we are providing right now is concentrated on the spring teas and the lobsters. Up to the 2nd of April, we have produced 88,000 tons of the fresh tea. And by the end of the May, all the production of the spring tea is coming to an end. There is an estimation that there are still 10,000 tons of the spring teas coming into the market. For the long term, we are also a huge producer of the mushrooms. Currently, we have collected over 81,000 tons of the mushrooms, among which 64,000 tons was sold out. This achievement is achieved only under the firm support of the CPC Central Committee, and we have launched a provincial-level scheme to promote the agriculture's markets. By the end of the 2nd of April, we have sold over 32,000 tons of the spring teas, with 64,000 tons of the lobsters being sold in the markets. The total sales number is registered into 38 million RMB. The third part I want to brief you is the next step of our work. To address this issue, it is actually an important pillars and priorities of our yearly round GDP. So I think that we are going to further implement the requirements of the CPC Central Committee and the provincial governments. We are going to find several different pillar industries to drive up the economy, figured by the spring teas, TCM, herbs, and lobsters in Hubei Province. And we also are focusing on other different pillar industries. With a steady up production scale, this major product is going to speed up the economic recovery across the province. Secondly, we are also going to build up coordinating mechanisms between the government and the market. The government is going to do a good public service work, with the market playing a dominant role. Restaurants, shopping malls, and agri-markets is open up and is going to boom in a short period of time. Thirdly, we are also going to tighten up our interventions and scrutiny in the agri-related products. By today, across the nation, people are trying hard to buy the product in Hubei. We should cherish this opportunity, and we should be grateful of the people's kind heart, and we should provide it safe, fresh, and healthy food. And this is going to help us further in building up a better name card for the Hubei Province. Fourthly, we are also going to talk and work together with relevant institutions to form up the training courses for the farmers and the peasants. And we also want to find all the difficulties and the headaches lying ahead of the agri-produce sales. And we are also going to try our best to eliminate the impact of the COVID-19 on certain different provinces and counties. Here, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Han Xu, the county mayor of Jianli, to give us updates about his county. Dear friends from the media, good afternoon. Jianli County is an agriculture-based county. We have built up the special agri-produce festival for a third term. I think some of you might visit our county and you have tasted our very delicious lobsters, and I think you might understand us as the #1 production base for the wheat and grains, and we are also going to build up the brand of the grains, and this is going to help us create a new mechanism and a new buy and sales mechanisms for the grains, with the chicken lobsters being sold in our counties. Currently, we have over 42,000 acres of land producing the chicken lobsters. Last year, the total production number is reaching 50,000 tons, top all of the other different counties across the province. Since the price of the lobsters is influencing all the other tables across the country, we are trying our best to build up a good environment for the chicken lobsters. And the lobsters from our county, with a large shape, fresh meat, and a very tasty meat, we believe that it is winning the heart from tables across the country and even the world. In the tables in Beijing and Shanghai, for every 10 chicken lobsters, one of them is coming from our county. Recently, under the firm support of the CPC Central Committee and with all the help from the media explorers, we have built up over 1,000 different acres of the cultivation farms for the chicken lobster. And there is one farmer, Mr. Tong, who has owned over 70 to 80 different river crabs. And he understood that today I'm going to do this press releasing, and he wants me to bring his gratifications to all the friends from the media. Since the 15th of March, we have dispatched the green patches for the agri-produce, and we have given all kinds of the agri-subsidies with all the national support to the Hubei Province. Currently, we have over 100 different buyers coming to our county, and currently we have sold around 90,000 tons of the chicken lobsters. And this time slot can actually catch up with the latest progress of the growing up of the chicken lobster. The chicken lobster is the pocket for our county, and because we have not fully recovered from the COVID-19, the price and the total sales number of the chicken lobster is far behind what we have achieved last year. So today, I want to speak for our chicken lobster. I hope that across the whole country, especially friends from the media, please support our county as always. And Please come to our county and enjoy the chicken lobster and enjoy the red wine in our county. And we also firmly believe that after the total recovery of the COVID-19, the chicken lobster is going to become the instant famous for all of you, and it's also going to be on your table once again. So here we'd like to give the floor to Mr. Tian Hongguang to give us updates about Yinshan County and its agri-industry. Dear friends from media, good afternoon. Yinshan is an important production and producer for the spring teas, and we are listed as first bunch of China's National Green Park. And we are an important producer for the green teas. The spring teas in our county, with its green colors and special aromas, is being sold all across the country and even to all the other different countries. Our yearly production is reaching 27,000 tons. Starting from the 16th of March, we have started our production, and I think that the total production is reaching to one peak near the Qingming Festival. Recently, we have produced over 700 tons of the spring tea, with only 200 spring tons of tea being sold out, and the price a little bit lower than what was happening last year. We also have the bulk green tea, which is being digested to other different provinces influenced by the COVID-19. Wuhan, Jiangsu, all the other major markets for our county has not been recovered. The market needs our further exploration. Facing this urgent situation, the Yinshan County government has also focusing on the production as well as the markets. We have adjusted the market structures, and we have emphasized on the good quality services that we provided. And we also want to boost the confidence for the tea producers across the county. Even if we are affected by the COVID-19, but the management and quality controls of the tea product is not being eased at one moment. The good quality of our tea is not changed. I think our spring tea is a real pleasure for all of you to enjoy. Meanwhile, we are national level poverty-stricken county. Spring tea industry is the pillar industry in our county. With a small leaf, it is undertaking the dreams of ancient people to get well fed. For every single spring tea that you consumed, it is a kind heart that you are showing to the people in Yinshan. We believe that with the support across the country and even from all walks of life, the tea industry in Yinshan is definitely going to tough this period out. Yinshan is also being blessed with all kinds of the tourism resources, and it is a very good destination for you to tour, to relax, and to breathe the fresh air. Please come to the county of Yinshan, taste our tea, and enjoy your life in our county. First, we'd like to give the floor to Mr. Kang to give us updates about the Sui County. Dear friends from media, good afternoon. We'd like to give you a lot of the introductions of the Sui County. Sui County is the homeland for Xunong, who is the ancestor for all the Chinese people, and it is the watershed for the Yangtze River and Suijiang River, and it is also boasted with a very fine climate for the mushroom to grow. The mushroom in Suixian with a gold shape and round color and very soft tenure and a lot of the nutrients inside is the #1 mushroom across the country, with its enriching proteins and aluminum acid. The mushroom in our county is gaining the national level quality patent for the past 40 years with our own resources and reasonable industrial allocations from the 3 counties. We are becoming one of the important manufacturing areas of the mushroom across the country, and we are one of the 4 important agricultural industrial clusters around the country. In our county, there are over 40 different skilled-up manufacturers of the mushroom, with over 300,000 jobs created for the industry. The annual production quantities of the mushroom is reaching 2.2 billion RMB, with the mushroom being sold to the Southeast Asia, United States, Japan, and South Korea, with the registered revenue created around 500 million RMB. Suixian County is becoming the important and biggest production and manufacturing areas for the mushrooms and black fungus. We are the motherland of the black fungus and mushrooms in China. After the outbreak of the COVID-19, we have actively followed up the requirement of the CPC Central Committee and provincial governments, and here we want to restore the productions of the mushrooms. Currently, with the 40 different scale-up mushroom producers, and all the farmers are restoring their production. And currently, we have finished the pickup and processing of over 15 million tons of the mushrooms, but currently all the productions and manufacturing of the mushrooms is facing the new challenges with a sliding price and shrinking markets, especially in Suzhou with the development with ever more urgent situations in the international markets. The mushroom exporting industry is facing a bigger headache, and it needs the urgent efforts from across the country to further explore the demand from all across the country. Going forward, under the firm support of the provincial government, we are going to open up the green channels and boost up the production and management of the mushroom, and guaranteeing the markets in the province and outside of the province. We are also going to make sure that all the mushrooms in our county can be produced and transported to the designated regions. And finally, I want to thank all of the media's support to the 3 counties. And I am calling for all the friends from media for further exposures of the mushroom in Suixian County. And I also kindly invite all of you to come to the Suixian County to have a taste, take a bite of our delicious mushroom. Now the floor is open to questions. Please identify your media affiliation before the questions. With People's Daily. In Hubei, there are so many different good quality agro products. So what kind of measures will the Hubei government adopt to open up the market? Thank you very much for your valuable question. With the channels for the Hubei people to left Hubei open up, and an ever-widening market, we are emphasizing the rules of the government and the market, and we also want to fully explore the talents of the markets. And we are also adopting all kinds of the subsidies and incentives to the markets. currently, to ease the pressures of the spring peas, chicken lobsters, and mushrooms, the Department of Agriculture and Rural Area has come up with new special chicken lobster loans and spring tea loans. And the provincial government is organizing a special one-to-one helping and assisting mechanisms for the chicken lobsters. Today, the Agriculture Department of the Hubei Province has started our research against the better sales of the chicken lobsters. With the markets playing its rules and with the help of the provincial governments, we are going to boost up and solve the questions for the agricultural product. And in the market management, we are focusing on the 3 different combinations. The first combination means combining and connecting the provincial product together with the buyers from other different provinces, with a fine adjustment of the agricultural product, with the opening up of the restaurants, shopping malls, and agri-markets. We are going to release the market potential in our province step by step, and we also want to guarantee the huge market in Wuhan. Outside Hubei, we are also going to fully implement the agreement that we were signing up with the Guangdong province with 6 different requirements. And we are also going to translate the researching result from bench to bedside. And we are also going to hasten up the collaborations between our province and other different provinces and widen up all the market channels. The second part is that we are going to combine the online and offline sales channels with the recovery markets, the reconnecting logistic channels. The offline market is opening up once again, but I believe the online market is still showing a great potential. Currently, we are signing up with big e-commerce promotion platforms, for example, Pinduoduo, and going forward, we are also going to sign up the promotion agreement with Alibaba and JD.com, and we are also going to open up special sales channels for the Hubei province, and this is going to help and assist Hubei agri-product to go into the tables across the country. Thirdly, we are also going to fully play the roles of the agri-product with a good management of the channels. We are also going to guide the agri-product and building up ever more closer relationships between the farmers and private companies with the edges of the private sector companies. They are going to open up the markets for the farmers. Finally, I kindly invite all the friends from media to keep the updates of the agriculture product in Hubei, and this is the best help that we can get to promote the agri product in Hubei. Thank you once again.
好的，谢谢主持人，我是来自经济日报的融媒体记者。
With Economic Daily.
接力的韩县长，据了解啊，今年小龙虾的价格比去年同期低了30%以上。那请问接力有哪些？
So to my knowledge, there is a certain percent price drop of the chicken lobsters. Did the county government adopted any measures to help to boost the sales and the price of the chicken lobsters? Thank you very much for your concerns of the chicken lobsters. Indeed, infected by the COVID-19, this year the price of the chicken lobsters has dropped around 30% compared with last year. For example, the normal skilled chicken lobster is reaching 28 to 30 RMB per kilogram, and this year the price is only 22 kilogram. And for this year, the small lobsters is also facing all kinds of the sales and cultivation problems. To tackle with this problem, we have adopted a series of measures to promote the development and growth of the chicken lobsters. First, we have opened up different sales channels. With the guidance from the Agriculture Department, we have opened up a green agri channel. And internally, we have built up the bridge to connect the farmers and private companies. And we have also worked hard to boost the confidence of the chicken lobster farmers. Secondly, we are adopting all kinds of the technical method to help the chicken lobster farmers. And at the very beginning of the outbreak of COVID-19, we have give all kinds of the guidelines to the chicken lobster farmers to help them extend the cultivation period this year. And after the outbreak of COVID-19, I think that we are adopting a gradual measures to ease up the growing pressure on the farmers. Thirdly, we have adopted all kinds of the physical incentives and subsidies to meet up and make up for the losses of the lobster farmers. Through all kinds of the incentive measures, the dealers and private companies can provide a better service for the lobster farmers. And we have also implemented measures from the upper level governments, open up new financial channels and help them, giving them all kinds of the subsidies. Up to today, there are over 8 different chicken lobster manufacturers which is working on their yearly schedule, and this is going to ease the pressure for the chicken lobster farmers. Although we have taken up all kinds of measures, but the chicken lobster farmers is still facing so many uncertainties, especially with the recovery of the restaurants still remains a problem. We have so many storage volume of the lobsters. So when Mr. Zhang was reporting to you about the updates of the agricultural produce, we believe that a lot of the inventories and the storage of the chicken lobster is coming from Jianli County. So here I'd like to use this opportunity. I'm calling out for a nationwide support of our chicken lobster industry. And we like to build a network to bridge the chicken lobster farmers with buyers across the country. I sincerely invite all of you to come to our county, enjoy the chicken lobster, and enjoy our fine wine. With China Daily, this year marks the year to eliminate the poverty in China. We all know that the Jinshan County in Hubei is an important manufacturer and producer of the spring tea. So what kind of measures did the county government adopt to boost the sales of the Jinshan spring tea? Thank you very much for your concern of our spring tea. Up to today, we have focusing on the two sides of the prevention and control of COVID-19 while really emphasizes about the production of the spring tea. We have enlarged the proportions of the high-quality spring teas and the total structure while connecting and bridging better buyers from the markets. First, we have give a lot of the financial incentives and subsidies for the tea manufacturers and companies. We have also came up with a special incentive programs for the tea industry, and we have made all out the effort for the work resumption and manufacturing resumptions of the tea manufacturers. And we also want to stabilize the demand from the markets. Secondly, we have gave the 101 tea shops in our county to open up again outside of the Wuhan. All of the other different 21 tea shops is also reopened again, and we have connected our tea shops and the tea manufacturers with Jiangsu Province and Hunan Province and Zhejiang Province. We have invited the client from Zhejiang and Yinshan to come to our county and have a taste of our fine tea. We have also widened up the online sales channel. Thirdly, we have opened up the online sales channel. We have adopted a live streaming of the spring tea and fully play the role of TikTok among other different live streaming platforms. In the People's Daily, Hubei TV, and Changjiang Cloud, we have published and released the manufacturing information. Fourthly, we have motivated the different companies and counties in our to buy our product as an incentive for the tea farmers. We have kindly invited all the tea buyers from all across the country to buy more Yinshan tea. I believe that with all of these efforts, we have signed up over contracts which is above 100 tons of the teas. And for the new types of the high-end teas, including the top tea, it has reached registered an avenue with over 26 million RMB. With all of these achievements, the sales of the tea is still facing all kinds of difficulties. So here, I kindly want to ask all the friends from the media to better promote our tea product. Thank you very much. With Hubei TV. So my question is about the Suixian County. I understand that the mushroom in Suixian has the top quality across the country, and it is occupying for 70% of the mushroom markets across the country. What kind of measures did the Suixian County adopted so far to further boost the production and sales of the mushroom industry? Thank you very much for your kindly support of the mushroom industry in Suixian County. After the outbreak of the COVID-19, the mushroom industry in Suixian County is actually affected. It is one of the pillars in the Suixian County, and it is of significance in our county. We have done the following up three fronts of our work. First, we really emphasizing the spring plowing time and emphasizing in the manufacture. After being evaluated as a low-risk region, we have come up with the plans for work resumption and manufacturing resumptions. We have opened up green channels to guarantee the production of the mushroom industry with all kinds of the policies supporting the mushroom industry while implementing a good effort of the prevention and control of the COVID-19. I believe that 100% of the mushroom companies is resume their day-to-day work. And we have optimized the techniques in our mushroom plantations by adopting a conservative planting methods. I believe that currently we have produced over 5,100 pounds of the mushroom, and we have readjusted the plantations and agriculture industry in our county, and we are adopting a real emphasis of the autumn mushroom. Secondly, with these rare opportunities, we want to upgrade the qualities of the mushroom that we produced. We have also focusing on the multiple demand of the markets with the mushroom jams, mushroom crackers, and among other different seasoning products from the mushrooms. We have also developed the other different byproduct of the mushroom with an enriching product in the production chain. We believe that the efficacies and the values of the mushroom is widely accepted and better known. Thirdly, we are making all-rounded efforts in the mushroom industry. We used to adopt the semen export markets, and our mushroom used to dominate 70% of the Hong Kong markets. But with the development of the COVID-19 in the other different countries, I believe that for one part, we are trying our best to consolidate the international markets. We were trying our best to grab the rare opportunities of the spring festivals, and we are also trying our best to digest all the orders before the spring festivals. We have also opened up the markets across the country with the e-commerce platforms and direct deliveries, bridging among other different sales methods. This has been promoting the fine production of the mushroom industry. Although we have adopted all kinds of measures to help the mushroom industry and bridge the mushroom farmers with the markets, but there are still so many inventories of the mushrooms with a declining price. We are in an urgent demand of the national buyers. So here, I kindly invited friends from the media, representatives from the shopping malls and e-commerce platforms to help us to support our mushroom industry. And please give more publicity, give more explorers of our mushroom, and I also kindly invited all of you to come to Suixian County to take a bite of our delicious mushroom. Last question. With Hubei Daily, the agricultural product, the agricultural market is huge, and its hygienic situation is difficult to maintain. So my question is that after the outbreak, how will we maintain the hygienic situation in the agricultural markets? Thank you very much for your valuable question, and we are planned to do the following up 3 measures in the agricultural markets. First, we are going to build up a good hardware environment. We are also going to build up a very good ventilation and sewage treatment situation for the vegetable booth. For each of the booths, we are going to equip them with one special trash can. For the agricultural markets, the fishes are going to be kept in a tank with fresh water. For the poultry markets, we required of the agricultural markets to be independent, and each of the sales booths should be 5 meters away. The slaughter and sales of the poultry product is going to be separated. We encourage all the poultry-related products to be sold in the form of the frozen form, and we are forbidden all kinds of the sales of the wild animals. Second, we are also going to do a day-to-day sterilization work in the agricultural markets. Every day after the work, we are going to clean up the markets, sterilize the market, and clean up it again. Secondly, we are also going to do a general clean up work once every week for each of the booths, for each of the transportation tools, including the public toilet in the agricultural markets. It is going to be sterilized carefully once every week. After 30 minutes of the sterilization process, we are going to clean it up with fresh water. And thirdly, every month, we are going to do all-rounded cleanup efforts. And we are going to clean up all the poultry product inventory once every month. For the different walls, entries of the sewage drainage, it is going to be cleaned up once every month. Thirdly, we are going to control the existence of the rats, mosquitoes, cockroaches, among other different animals. So for the processes and inventories of the matured product, it should be facilitated with all kinds of the glass storage boxes. And we should also install all kinds of the rat removing facilities, and every 50 days we are going to adopt a campaign to root out all the rats in the markets. And for every 7 days, we are going to find all the dirty water pots in the markets to eliminate the mosquitoes. And we are also going to invite the professional companies to conduct all-outed eliminations towards the mosquitoes, the flies, among other different insects. And for all of the individuals, if you want to buy some of the agri-related products, please wear a medical mask and please wash your hand after visiting the agri market. Thank you very much. With that, we conclude today's press briefing. In the 4th of April, because of the National Mourning Ceremony, the press briefing is going to be stopped for 1 day. And at the 5th of April, we are going to have